Welcome to the 2A Roundtable. My name is Josh.
And I'm Michelle.
I'm Derek.
I'm Todd.
He's just Todd today.
He's gun guru, Todd.
Yeah, he's the gun guru.
That's right. I am the gun guru.
Welcome to episode 3 of the Roundtable.
Yeah, no, we're not that good at editing. So today we're going to talk about more about HB 5043 that has passed judiciary. We're going to talk about Cox Communications and a Supreme Court lawsuit. I know that might not seem relevant, but it is. You watched Derek's did you put a video on that yet? Okay.
Actually, it's Thursday, so
spoilers.
It'll be today.
But yes, it's out already. And then we're going to talk about Canada and
Canada.
maple syrup.
We also need to talk about HB 5436, the redefining of what a firearm actually is.
Yes. Well, that hasn't made it into
Exactly.
Still
It's
in
come to
judiciary.
a screeching halt.
Okay. I think we had one more topic we were going to talk about too.
Yeah, we'll make it up as we go along.
But yeah, pretty much.
That's
We
what
throw
happens.
shit at a
We
wall and see if it
usually
sticks.
When we list off what we're doing and then we don't hit it, it doesn't look good though. So sorry guys. But we talk a lot.
HB 5043 passed judiciary the other day. And I think, well, I was watching it live, we'll say on YouTube.
Me too.
And something that irks the living hell out of me is when they're going in order and then they skip it. And then they hear like 2 or 3 more. Then we went back to 3. And then we finally got to the gun one.
I was surprised they got to it as fast as they did.
Yeah.
I've heard that'd be like, the last 30
The last
minutes.
3, yeah. So the LCO number of this bill, which is the bill language, I think changed about 5 or 6 times
5
that
different
day.
within 2 hours.
Yes.
Within 2 hours they had 5 different versions.
So I was texting my source at the Capitol. And we got to protect our sources here. And you got to stay anonymous.
I talked to Doug Dubacy. I'm not going to keep it anonymous.
And that was not my source. And got the LCOs and the last one, which is the current language that got passed. And will eventually, possibly, maybe, hopefully not, but probably go to the House floor and then the Senate.
It's sent out. Yeah, it's got it. It was sent.
I don't think it has a date.
No, it was sent to the consent calendar, which means it's sent to the House and then
a short session. They only got less than a month left now.
Yeah, they got to get this thing through.
I think they're going to wait to the last minute and then ram it through.
But then
Probably in the middle of the night.
But then Rob can talk.
But they're not going to use lube. Just saying.
Well, this podcast has gone off the rails already. And we're 3 minutes in.
All right.
Not getting monetized today. All right. So bill language went through. I believe Derek's done a video on it. Todd has done a video on it. I did a very brief video on it without Michelle. We left her in the dust.
Okay.
I did my video before I even sent the LCO language to Todd and Derek. I sent it in the same group chat
Because he's greedy.
Yeah, I was.
I think I said that.
You did.
I was like,
You did.
dirty bastard.
Yeah.
I see how you play that.
I'll hold it to my chest
Well,
until
I think it was a Tuesday, and I came over here. I locked the store side. I locked
Monday.
this side, or
Yeah.
Monday, whatever it was. I came over and did like the little 8-minute podcast real quick, and I'm like, I'm getting this done now, but I didn't get it up until 6:30.
I was at Wolf's doing a private lesson when you sent the text. So I pull it up and I was like, okay. And then I'm still there and I got the alert. You put up a video. I was like, that motherfucker. Because I was trapped at the range. I was like, I can't leave.
Todd's got to get better sources.
Well,
I mean, I'm a source, I guess, so that's good.
That works.
All right. So the language changed, which is kind of what we said it would do. It'll be interesting if it doesn't change again, which I think is kind of the consensus across the board, is that it's possibly not going to change before it hits the floor again. Like 704-2 did last year. Went into committee. Before it left committee, it changed. And before it hit the floor, it changed.
This is a little different.
It's a little different.
Because
Yeah.
they made it a little more favorable, but the opposition may feel that they need to kind of backtrack on that.
Well,
God only knows what we'll get.
What they did with 7042 was as other bills died,
They added.
So, I mean, I remember the count because it started at 6 pages, came out at 4, went to 15, then to 26 pages in the end. And you can see all the stuff they
kept
stuffed
adding
into
crap.
it.
So we have some differing opinions on parts of the bill, I should say, specifically section 3 and how that's interpreted. And we're going to go and discuss that. So I'm going to go read the language, section 3, subsection A, and then I'll read B, and then we'll talk. So section 3, effective October 1st, 2020, any individual, firm, partnership, corporation, LLC, association, or similar entity that imports into the state or advertises, sells, offers, or exposes for sale any convertible pistol as defined in section 53 of the general statutes as amended by this act that was manufactured on or after October 1st, 2026 shall be guilty of a Class D felony. B, the provisions of this section shall not apply to sale at retail or other lawful transfer of a convertible pistol by a person who is not a licensed gun dealer to another person who is not a licensed gun dealer.
Which is already in effect.
I want to break down B first because I think we can kind of agree on that. That, I think, if I got this correct, says you can sell a convertible pistol to another individual. That's a person, not an FFL. The problem is, and we all know this, is that private sales in Connecticut do not exist other than going through an FFL, which in section A says I can't touch unless I want to catch a D felony. So
we don't catch them. It's not like you're playing baseball.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like a Pokemon.
Connecticut's the only state where you can't do that transfer like that. Mainly because, and they brought it up when it happened, was they used the NIC system because of the DPS3 and the transfer number. You need to get out of your name and in someone else's name. And since we use the NIC system to do this, it makes it null and void in Connecticut. So even though this law says, hey, if I have a Glock and I want to transfer it to Derek, I am allowed to transfer it to you. The problem is it's in my name.
Right.
So the only way for me to go from me to you would to go through you, Josh, at the FFL and do the round robin.
To take it in to send it back out.
Which we're not allowed to do because of the stupid NIC system. Thus, even though, yes, it's in the law that you and I can transfer the Glock, we really can't.
You can.
So the NIC system can only be used for FFL retail background checks.
Right.
It can't be used for ammo background checks, which is kind of the thing that exploded this in New York, is when they started running background checks on ammo purchases. They were using the NIC system. The ATF caught wind of that and was like, can't do that. And then went and checked all the other states, realized that when Todd called SLFU to sell a gun to Derek, they were running it through the same system, which they're not allowed to do. Now, I do believe Connecticut could have come up with their own background check system, but they didn't because that costs money. And I'm sure, we have enough issues at SLFU.
Well, they do have a system. They work in conjunction. That's also part of why the authorization system was such a crap show for so long, was because Connecticut has its own, you would do a NICS background, but Connecticut has its own added system that's into it.
That's
So
how we
they
walk
don't-
in with our gun permit,
And
and then we walk right out with our gun. There's
and
no
they don't talk
waiting.
well together. NICS actually works better in states that only use NICS and don't have this other auxiliary system that works with that.
Now, I get what you're saying. So if SLFU went permit to permit, so I have a permit, I'm transferring it to Derek with a permit. They look at both permits. We're both in good standing,
right?
Which they know that's live. And they just give us a transfer number, removing it from me and giving it to Derek. That would be awesome. But you're also talking about the same entity that can't process assault weapon certificates in any amount of time.
Nope, because financially they're not allowed.
Still missing.
The budget doesn't allow for a decent system of any sort, of any type, no matter what their job is up there. I mean, it's a hot mess.
It's all by design.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to section A.
That's the fireworks begin.
I keep looking down, but I'm like reading it.
Wait. Before we do that, though, I want for them to understand, because the key word in here is convertible pistol. So in this bill, I want to read what the convertible pistol definition is so that our readers or our listeners,
section and subsection.
It's the very first page, section 1. Subsection section 1(4) in parentheses.
4. It's all underlined. It's all brand new
So
language.
section 1, subsection
4.
Yeah, but that's under a letter. B.
It's A. B. Yeah, B4.
Yeah, B4. There you go.
B4.
Not after. Sorry. Okay. So convertible pistol
Dad jokes.
means any semi-automatic, and this is according to our legislators, not
We're reading bill
us.
language.
Yeah.
Are you sure this is according to the legislators and not the gun expert from every town?
It's what they're proposing. Let's
I mean,
just
this
put it
didn't
that
come from
way.
Ned Lamont. He didn't write this.
So convertible pistol means any semi-automatic pistol with a cruciform trigger bar that can be readily altered by hand or with a common household tool so that the pistol can be readily converted into a machine gun by the installation or attachment of a pistol converter as defined in subsection C of section 53G as amended in this act. Convertible pistol does not include any hammer-fired semi-automatic pistol, or a pistol with a tab or other piece of material that shields the cruciform trigger bar from the interference by a pistol converter so that the pistol can be readily converted into a machine gun by the installation or attachment of a pistol converter. So in all that blah, 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 blah that everybody just listened to, basically, if the cruciform trigger bar is blocked.
What do they mean though? Because Gen 5s, the tab is there.
Yeah.
Correct.
V series, a tab with a metal tab is there to block it.
Correct.
And Gen 6.
Correct.
But I did a video, I think you might have done a video where the V series took less than 2 days to put a switch in it.
Right.
So they add that the tools.
Tools, yeah.
So even if the tab is there in the back, if
Right.
you can remove it with a common tool, like a spanner
So
wrench.
here's
Your
the common tools are included but not limited to a screwdriver, wrench, hacksaw, crowbar, electric drill, rotary tool, hammer, chisel, or file, or pliers.
pliers.
You have a lot of ors in there.
So my
Crowbar.
guess, but my
Crowbar.
guess, take that to your
But
wow.
hey, they took out the crescent wrench.
They did
Yes.
take out crescent wrench.
So what I'm
Three-headed
what I'm
crowbar.
thinking with those definitions though is if it's a fixed block, metal, not just a tab, but a blocking of some sort, that they'll be able to get away with it.
The problem
but again,
is it's not
No.
defined.
it won't be.
And just because you're like, well, I think it's great.
That's what they do.
Whatever you think, I think, whatever Derek thinks, that's great. It comes down to interpretation.
Right.
Correct. That's
So
why
law gets passed. And the problem is we've all done it before where we call for clarification on a law and we never get an answer because we're told we don't do that.
it's for
So-
legal.
Correct. So you're going to pass something which has no definition, which makes no sense, and nobody knows what the hell it is. So it's subjective. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. We don't know what we're talking about. We're just putting a bunch of words together.
But that's how Connecticut has passed every gun law.
Yeah, true.
This is what we do. And we always say that doesn't make sense. What are the parameters? And they go, well, we think it's this. Even the state police, even SLFU, the commissioner goes, well, my interpretation says this, but the legislators that made the bill or that passed the bill, they have a whole different interpretation in there, or they have no interpretation and go, law enforcement can handle that.
It doesn't matter what politicians think. We all know they're not the ones that wrote this. And then when you get the gun expert from the people that did write this,
They didn't have the answers.
no, he's an idiot. He doesn't know. He's like, well, I wrote for a magazine once. That's great. Good for you.
I think it was the New York Times.
It's still
Still,
a
though,
magazine.
A skilled shooter can shoot 30 rounds in a minute.
It wasn't Rifleman, by the way. Just saying.
Stephen Hawking could shoot a gun faster than that.
No, and I get the frustration. Obviously, we always have this frustration. I guess the reason I'm not as frustrated is I'm used to it. This is what happens every single year. And what's going to happen is after they pass the bill, you're going to get more and more clarification depending on how law
Yeah.
enforcement.
How do you
moves
get more
forward.
clarification? People get in trouble.
Correct. That's the only.
Now we were talking about
We
this.
make lawyers rich in this state. That's all we do.
We were talking about this before we even started recording. But in Illinois, we talked about this. They had all this BS gun control stuff. And it was something like 5,100 people came out opposing, 37 supported. And the politicians were like, oh, well, I guess people don't like this. Let's send it back to the drawing board and we'll try again. Versus Connecticut. And that's Illinois. Versus Connecticut, where we have 6,000 plus say, we don't want this. 27 at most said we want this. And the politicians like,
Go.
we're just going to push it through because that's what the people want. It's like,
Well, and
No, it's what
that's-
special interests want.
No, it's what
Yes.
every town wants, because every time they
Special
said, well, we
interest.
need to change this language, they were like, well, we wouldn't oppose that. And my question was still, who the F are they to oppose or approve of anything? They are just,
Todd, this has been going on since even before Sandy Hook.
I know.
You
You
know,
know,
it
I
just
mean,
Yeah, but
got-
half of our job here is to educate our viewers, right?
and then when people
And
people are like, oh, in the comment section, we just need to vote better. We've been voting like this forever.
welcome to
come
the fucking
on.
party, pal.
Well, the problem is, I do that comment. I do agree with. We need to vote better because people don't realize, the Democrats are going to vote Democrat. Like that's just what they're going to do. Okay. The Republicans, a lot of them stay home, believe it or not.
Yep.
Yep.
A lot of them stay home because they're
gun owners don't vote.
correct. So, and then you have your independents that are like,
So,
I don't know,
Even
and
if
it
they
just
did
kinda-
vote, look at the demographics of Connecticut. We vote what, 40, a little over 40% Republican in
Yep.
our state.
It's about
Yep.
40 to 60.
Right.
We have zero
It's
representation.
solid blue with zero Republican representation at a federal level because of gerrymandering. There will never be another.
What, you mean the 5th district isn't equal?
Wow. There
Come
will
on.
never be another Republican hold high office outside of a state rep.
correct.
Never going to happen ever again. So even if we got
Hey.
everybody out to vote,
The 5th district.
never going to happen.
Yes, absolutely with what you're saying.
So when people are like,
but we do have
I'm
to
pa-
vote better in Connecticut for our
So,
state legislatures.
I want to rewind to politics a little bit here, and not in the we're going to go bash somebody here, just in the Republicans not going out to vote. I don't care what your political affiliations are, vote whatever. But when Republicans stay home, Democrats win. We just saw this past November. It happened nationwide, but we'll focus Connecticut here. How many towns lost seats on
2 Novembers ago.
no, it was this past November.
Past November. Yeah.
Because I won town council.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Right. So Southington, we held our town council, we split board of finance, we lost board of ed, and we were kind of a holdout. And Wolcott, I think, maybe kind of did a similar thing. There's a few other, I think Berlin held everything. Bristol lost. Bristol lost their mayor and town council. Meriden got annihilated.
Most places got annihilated.
And
listen, Murder Den, though, like the mayor ran unopposed.
yeah, but like your other seats.
Murder Den.
He lives there. That's his problem.
Murder Den.
But going to this, it's not because Republicans voted Democrat or even a vast amount of independents voted Democrat.
It's not
Democrats
even-
went out more and voted,
More vote.
and the other guys stayed home.
It's not because
And-
we have more Democrats, and
Yeah.
we had less votes on our side because we don't vote. And we've shown that in legislature, Senate, and House. We've lost seats by less than 10. We've lost seats by
81st district, one vote.
one vote.
I know.
And
but
people go, my vote
I see
doesn't
it in the comment
count.
section all the time. Everyone's like, I'm just packing up my toys and leaving. I don't-
So many people.
I don't
I'm okay
blame
with
them.
that.
And then other people are like, no, you need to stay and fight. And I'm like,
I blame them.
but I look
I'm
at
so
it like,
sick of the mentality, though.
I
Like,
look
I
at it-
wanted to make change.
Yeah.
So fucking
You-
run and do something.
right. But I also look at it like it's a battered wife in an abusive relationship. It's like, well, don't abandon your marriage. Stay and fight for it. How
No.
many times do you have to get your ass handed to you and beat to a pulp before you're like, I'm leaving?
I get that, but a lot of the people that are like, oh, I'm fucking leaving, haven't done anything. That's the problem. They just sit there on Facebook and fucking bitch.
That's what it's there for.
Well, yeah, it's called a keyboard warrior. Yeah, let's go.
There's gonna be some fun comments on this.
No, I mean, look, my example is I have been fighting this fight for 15 plus years. All right. I have been in the Capitol more times than I can count. I know way too many seats that have been switched. I know who's there, who's not there. Read more legal bills and legalese than I ever thought I would in my lifetime. And it's very vague, as Todd was saying. And so you have to decipher what that all means. I'm leaving as soon as I can get out of here. Unfortunately, I've lived here long enough that I can't afford to leave today. If I could move tomorrow, I would, because I've done it for 15 years and I have yet to see anything get better. It just gets worse.
Yeah.
Michelle, you
And-
just need to vote better.
I need
People
to-
like you that leave, that's the problem. I'm just,
I'm sorry.
But you can
Maybe I'll vote
understand that.
Democrat next time. I'm just going to flip. No. Just
So
can
to
understand
be
the
clear on
frustration.
this, just on the Democrat Republican thing here, they're about 5 and 5, by the way, in the House and Senate total. 5 Democrats typically vote pro-gun. 5 Democrats typically vote, 5 Republicans typically vote anti-gun. One of them, Senator, the guy from
Wang?
Newtown, is not rerunning. Thank you. Goodbye. Don't let the door hit you with a
Saw
good
that.
Lord
It was
split
like,
you.
yes. But does he have anybody running in his seat? Because
He's
my
a
guess-
Democrat anyway, so
my guess is they're just going to let the Dem run unopposed.
that is, yep. Anyways,
That's a
Anyways,
whole nother topic.
Let's go to
all right, let's go to A. We
section 3A.
Section 3A. So October 1st, all current Glocks on the market
2026.
are banned. Right? Everyone agree with that statement?
Yep.
You
Yes.
can
cannot-
no
you
longer
can-
purchase.
convertible.
Can't purchase them.
Right.
Can't
They're not-
transfer 'em,
they're not
can't purchase
banned.
'em.
You can own them, but you cannot buy any new ones.
And we're not just talking about Glocks here. Did a video the other day about all of them.
And you won't be able to
Um,
sell them either.
Can't sell them. I can't touch them.
They can sit in you with you.
But here's the thing, like we talked about before we filmed. I went to the smartest thing I know, ChatGPT, and asked for a complete list. And it said it couldn't give it to me because it's subjective via manufacturer. So I went to someone that was just as smart, Grok, and it gave me the same answer because it's subjective. So one company's like, well, it's not a cruciform trigger bar. Another company could say it is. It's just so open-ended.
Yeah, so that's actually a point, and I don't think you were trying to go that way, but what if the company doesn't call it a cruciform trigger bar, right? How do we define what a vertical foregrip was when we had to have them on others?
Right.
Set it on the box. If it's if they say it's a vertical foregrip, it's a vertical foregrip. If they say it's an angled foregrip, it's an angled foregrip.
But even
Right.
every town couldn't define a cruciform trigger bar.
If
Because they've never seen one. Just
They don't-
saying.
well,
if the company doesn't call it that, right? Well, one company might call a barrel shroud, another company might call a handguard.
Or
Yep.
Right.
shield.
And it's how it's designed or how they interpret it. In your defense, I think, not a lawyer, only play one on a podcast here.
My defense?
No, anyone's
Oh,
defense,
okay.
your defense, right? Is, well, the manufacturer says it's this. So who are you to say it's not this?
So can it identify as something else?
If the manufacturer says it is,
Oh, only if it's. Never mind.
Glock just has to redefine it. It's no longer a cruciform trigger bar. It identifies as a thingamabobber.
it's a devil trigger bar.
In Connecticut, if it was anything else, it could identify it. Don't think gun parts.
yeah.
Just saying. Again, the hypocrisy.
Lots of that. It's a big word for them over there. So Michelle has a slight, not interpretation, but information past October 1st. In conversations with
Doug.
Doug, she said it, not me.
Nope. So Doug Dubitsky sits on the Judicial Committee. So when this went through and when the vote it was passed, number one, the way they passed it, it didn't have they use acronyms. I did not understand the acronym. So I made a phone call. It took me a couple of days to talk to him because we were playing phone tag. He's doing a lot of other stuff on other committees and stuff. And he sent me over the final copy of what they passed. And I said, okay.
That Josh sent to Michelle 3 days before that.
Yes. And I wanted to make sure I had the final copy because I know Doug was instrumental as a lawyer, not a firearms lawyer, by the way, but understanding legalese. I wanted to make sure he had the final copy, like make sure we had exactly what we needed. So he sent it over to me. I took a look at it. It was the same copy. Thank you, Josh. Verbally, we had a conversation and he said to me, he goes, well, any of the, Gen 5 or lower Glocks and anything manufactured prior to October 1st, 2026 will no longer be able to be sold. Anything made after that date, on or after October 1st, 2026 will be okay.
That's not what the bill says, though.
And I said to him, okay, how do I know that? Because I don't understand the way this is written. And he goes, I understand what you're saying. He goes, it is very convoluted. He goes, but as of October 1st, 2026, very specific date, by the way, he said that anything made after that date will be legal as of now. And I said, okay. In a follow-up conversation with him, I said, so anything made, because we talked several times over this, because every time I'd answer a question, I'd go, okay. And then I'd think about it and have a new one. Because they were saying, on the manufacture dates. So my issue was Glock does not have a website with all their serial dates. So you can't, some companies, you can just look up the serial number. It tells you when it was made. Glock does not. You have to either call them or you have to email them. So as a FFL or anyone who is going to do this, I said, well, if you're buying guns right around that time period, within a week or so after October 1st, how are you going to know if it's a brand new one or if it's been sitting on the shelf at a distributor for the last 3 weeks? You won't know. And so you're bringing in these Glocks, but you don't know. And he said, well, there's a lookup everywhere. I said, no. So we went through all of that and he said, okay, that's, you're going to have to use the phone lookup. So again, that poses a problem that Josh brought up as far as buying guns. If it's not on, manufactured, we're not supposed to touch them if they're as an FFL, if they're manufactured prior to October 1st. So if you order a gun and it happens to come in and you find out the serial number belongs to a gun that was manufactured early, that's a caveat in there. So I will be totally honest, Doug did not have a exact answer for that because again, they don't care. Not Doug, but the people pushing this bill don't care. And several times Doug did say they don't care. So, that's the only answer I can get. As far as
they don't care as long as stuff gets banned.
Correct.
That's it.
Well, they don't even really know what they're banning.
Get to the important part here about what Glock might produce.
Right. So I had asked him, I was like, so what's with this October date? Like, this is a strange date. And he said, anything manufactured after that will be made so that it can no longer be convertible, which means it no longer is a convertible pistol.
But is the state going to allow that to, okay, Glock is doing this change where you cannot convert the gun.
Right.
How does Glock prove that to the state to their satisfaction that they'll just allow them to be sold after October 1st?
There's a lot of questions to this. Absolutely. Todd's brought up several. Josh has brought up several. Absolutely. I get that. All I have was the definition and how it was explained to the committee and how it was voted, why it was. And I'll tell you straight up, it was down party line. Okay. It was yes and no's by party line, but they have more yeses than no's. So it passed through to go to the floor.
So what,
and they have more votes there too. By the way.
What's being implied here is there's going to be a 6.5, right? Let's call it that. Something I'm making up here, but there's going to be some sort of change in the 6s because I'm sure they're not going to go to 7s yet. That would make no sense.
Or they just might
or
keep
a
it
V and a half.
They might just keep it a 6 and just have a manufacturing new date.
New SKU, new UPC, something like that. To go and because they can do it on their SKUs, to be honest. That's how you identify it differently. That will be preventing a Glock switch from being installed. My problem with that is we're in 2026 and we have technology, guys. We talked about it earlier. It took 2 days for the V to be done, and the V and the 6 are essentially the same.
Correct.
So that switch that was made can be used in the 6.
I was told the 6 was harder.
It has a piece of metal in the plastic.
They had done better.
So Gen 5, it's got that tab, which
Yep.
I did a whole video where I showed the difference between a Gen 3, 4, and a 5.
Yep.
The plastic, obviously, you can just snap it off with nail clippers, whatever. Supposedly, Gen 6, they added a metal tab to the back.
Correct.
And then clad it in plastic. So it's harder to cut. But again,
still cuttable.
The
Dremel tool
rule,
just
or in the law, it talks about tools. So if I decided, or some industrious little hood booger, to sit down and take a crowbar to the back of their 6.5
crowbar, got it.
Crowbar.
I think they're gonna mess up more than just the whole tab. Just saying.
No, it's a mini crowbar.
Oh, okay.
Little one. It's for hobbyists. You get them at Hobby Lobby. It's for like a dollhouse. Just go in there.
Just follow it. Yep, gotcha.
And you beat the ever living crap out of your little Glock, and somehow, some way, you make it able to accept that switch. I mean, it doesn't matter because
no, it's convertible.
People are industrial. They when there's a will, there's a way.
We've seen it on
the
every
V
kind of
series
gun
was
out
sold
there.
as non-convertible. Like this fixes California, New York, Illinois. They always forget about Connecticut because we're like the little dingleberry on the asshole of New York.
That's a visual.
That's Connecticut.
And there goes the monetization.
There comes the hate mail.
Not from
What's
our
your email?
viewers.
Gunguru at protonmail.com. Okay.
That's
It's
right.
over there, guys.
That's right. Hit that like button. If you think Connecticut is just a dingleberry. It's ran by a bunch
You
of
know, you're gonna-
dingleberries.
Yeah.
You're going to make your own thumbnail for this, and that better be in there.
No, you're right though. Intent. And see, I just have a hard time going down this whole rabbit hole anyway, because they talk about intent. They talk about the switches. Law-abiding gun owners just carry a Glock.
That's what I was just going to say. There's not a single law-abiding Glock owner that I could for sure say, yes. Someone comes into your FFL, they buy a Glock, law-abiding. They're not going home to put a switch on it. It's little hood boogers.
And if they do, they now become non-law-abiding
Exactly.
gun owners.
It's against the law.
Felon.
And it's against state law, too.
Oh.
It's
Double
twice as
jeopardy.
bad. So hood boogers aren't buying the guns. They're stealing them.
Right.
Mhm.
Or they are buying them on like a black market.
We don't get dinged for that word.
Booger
Okay.
Yeah.
under your hood.
I just was asking.
What do you think I'm talking about?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. Never mind. I didn't know if, because we talk about bad words, and I didn't know if that hurt too.
No.
If like
It's not
YouTube had a
profanity.
problem
No,
with that.
no.
They don't mind that one?
It's not a, yep.
All right, never mind. Go back to
Gonna have to
topic.
cut
Sorry.
this out.
They're the ones doing these bad things. So
You're
instead of
getting
taking
educated.
existing law and enforcing it to its fullest extent
Correct.
and making these violations actually hurt, what they do is they pass a law to punish all of us, the collective.
All of them do. None of them
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
the crime. Nothing they have passed
No, and
yet.
even when they do convict somebody of a crime, which I did a video on,
Have a
Did
nice
nothing.
day.
Nothing.
Please don't do that again.
it's like, oh, here's you did this thing right here bad. It's against the law. That should be 7 years in prison. We'll give you 2
Maybe.
with 5 years of probation, and we'll stack on all the other illegal stuff you did, and you can serve that time concurrently together. And you should be in jail for like the next 60 years, but instead you'll serve 2.
6 months. Come
This
on.
person
now.
that you might be talking about, Todd, probably already been in jail for a year.
Oh, it's
and
time
with
served.
good behavior.
It's time served.
They
dude.
got like 6 months left.
It's
And while
good.
they're on probation, I'm pretty sure that doesn't stop them from doing,
Illegal things.
illegal things.
Like being a getaway driver for a
But-
gun
but-
robbery.
But wait a
Yeah.
minute. If they're on probation, they're not supposed to.
They're not supposed to.
Well, you're
Also not
break the
supposed
law.
to
Key
drive.
words right there.
Also not supposed to drive 85 miles an hour on the highway, but
I'm confused.
just kidding.
Yes.
I would never do that. That would be illegal.
Well, it depends where you are.
April Fools.
But yeah, it's the old saying. It's 10 years for an illegal machine gun that they never hand out.
Correct.
They never give the sentence.
No.
Look
Never.
Look at the asshat that broke into Hoffman, stole 30 guns, got caught. He still had one. And they asked him where'd the other ones go. Oh, I sold them for drugs, money, and other things. So they charge him with one. Now, each one should be 10 years in jail.
Correct.
That's federal law. So you theoretically could put this idiot away for 300 years. It's like you're going to serve for this gun, then this gun, then this gun. But instead, they're like, we'll charge him with one gun, even though he stole 30. And God knows where the other 29 went. And it's a slap on the wrist.
I know a
It's-
guy.
it's-
But if
who took
Todd
his-
put a Glock switch in his Glock, he was going to prison for the rest of his life.
No, if Todd takes his converted Connecticut other SBR assault weapon, whatever the hell it is today,
Thingamabob.
if I took that out of state because I'm like, oh, well, it's an other, so I'm good. But I forgot that ATF's like, nah, man, we've made that an SBR.
Where's your paperwork? You got any dogs?
Hey, you left the state of Connecticut and didn't ask our permission. So,
Clack, clack.
yeah, the handcuffs, clack, clack.
Okay, I thought you exploded. So,
No.
anyways, Michelle, yes, you said so.
That's a one clack.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm gone
got it.
now. It's
Okay.
lost. I'm
Yeah,
good.
I mean, Todd already exploded once.
Yeah, we're good. So that's
That was
my
good, wasn't it?
that's my
Yeah.
understanding, and I'm going to close it at that. You guys continue on with how you feel about it, because I get it, and it's not cool. This isn't
mean,
cool at all. But
I didn't.
Currently, there's no such thing as a 6.5. We have no evidence to say that Glock is going to do that.
Mm.
We're not obviously just talking about Glock here. That's the
I
the
think
big one,
The tip.
right?
Yeah.
I think they
The tip
will
of the
come
spear.
out.
There you
Yeah.
go.
They will come out with future generations.
Why? We're one state with this law. Who gives? You're a
But we're not.
multi.
California is already doing this.
Yeah, but
Virginia's
they
doing it.
did.
California already did it. It
Right.
takes effect July 1st. New York, they're
Yep.
working on it.
Yep.
Illinois, that's a black hole for the Second Amendment. You should just avoid that freaking state. Washington has
Better
their
than we
own
have.
problems. Georgia's going after Glock over the same BS. And it's all because
It's like
all
the
these.
Attorney
Do you know why?
General
Yes,
to
I was
each
just
other.
going to say, do you know why?
Tong, our Attorney General, is the president of all the Attorney Generals,
He's
apparently.
He's the
Yeah.
best.
So what you're saying is there's a circle jerk and tongs in the middle.
Absolutely.
I think that's another word, but yes.
I'm like, how did he manage that one? That's
People,
how did that happen?
people
It had to do with the circle jerk.
But people think that Governor Lamont is one of the best. Like, if you look at, I've seen articles, national articles, where he is listed as one of the top governors in this country. And I'm like, says who?
The Somali community in Minneapolis.
Damn.
Because
Or
Damn.
any daycare at this point in time, because we're being investigated for daycare too, money that's missing.
Yeah.
Everybody that screams Aloha Snack Bar, they think he's just a bee's knees.
Bees knees is
All right, Derek. Cox Communications.
your turn.
Cox Communications. This is an interesting deal. Lay down the story. Sony Entertainment sued Cox because people were using their internet service to download music, movies, which they claim is infringement of copyright. They went to court over it. The jury said, yeah, Cox is liable, gave him $1 billion.
Oh, shoot.
Cox turns around and says, wait a minute, we're going to appeal this, and takes it all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court comes back 9-0, says, no, Cox is not liable for misuse of its service or its product. Now, I'm going to briefly tell you what Justice Thomas said. And I'm not going to, this thing's going for pages. I don't know why they do this, but.
Thomas is my spirit animal.
Okay. But he says countless people use the internet for legal activities, but some use it to illegally share copyrighted works such as songs and movies. The Copyright Act authorized copyright users to sue these copyright infringers. In this case, however, instead of suing those infringers, the copyright owners sue the petitioners, which is Cox Communications, and its subsidiary who provided the internet connections that the infringers used. They contended that Cox itself is liable for copyright infringement because it continued to provide known infringers with internet access. I hope you can see where I'm going with this. But then I come down to here. This is, their decision. Under our precedents, their decision, a company is not liable as a copyright infringer for merely providing a service to the general public with knowledge that it will be used by some to infringe copyrights.
With knowledge, that's key.
Translate to gun.
Exactly.
But that's kind of what Plaka already did.
The problem
Yeah,
is,
but we still have so many lawsuits floating out there. Assault weapons, Daniel Defense has got one.
but you don't have liability lawsuits going up
Didn't
that
the
way.
Supreme
you do.
Court
Do you?
side
Six
on
Hours got a liability. They knowingly produced
But are they
the
pushing it?
P320, and they've won a bunch, but they have lost a few. So yeah, you can hold a gun manufacturer liable if they make a really shoddy product.
Right. But the SIG 320 has
User
allegedly a flaw,
Allegedly,
a manufacturing flaw coming out of the factory.
That's
which
different.
allows you to then sue them.
But
Now,
then Glock does not have a flaw coming out of the factory. This is an afterthought by some
correct.
people to modify the firearm to do something that it was never intended to be, to be done in the
And
first
Glock
place.
has nothing to do with making the switch.
And Glock has nothing to do with making a switch.
But not only that, bring it back to last year's liability bill and how manufacturers, distributors, and gun stores are now liable for
Well,
what
yes,
someone
well-
does with that
But
firearm.
Josh
marketers-
brought that up. You said this is going to really affect 7042,
Yes.
holding the gun dealer and the manufacturer liable for somebody. You sell the gun to someone, and 3 months later they shoot somebody. The gun dealer's fault because he should have reasonably known.
Here's an example of what I do now, actually, because of that bill. Besides some internal stuff, which I'm not going to go share on a podcast, this stuff is on social media, right? Strip lowers, still legal to sell.
Mhm.
You have to build them into something compliant, right? Most people fix mags, right? They throw in a comp mag, it's a fixed magazine, you're good to go. Maybe a 22 rim fire or bolt action,
action.
right? Bear Creek makes the bolt action up, or so do some others. But on everything I post, I have must be made into CT compliant rifle, right? And then I have fixed magazine, bolt action, rimfire, whatever. A, to educate the people, and B, to cover my own ass.
Mm.
This has to be built into this. And most of the time I group the photo with a cross armory kit, because that instead of the comp mag, that's that replaces the magazine release with a screw and a block.
Right.
Yep.
Or a comp mag or some whatever I decide to post with. But because of that bill, that's how I word all that stuff now.
Mhm.
Right. And a QDA system for the Ruger Mark IVs, right? Very clearly it says pin and welded, right? So you don't have that threaded aspect. You have the QDA, the quick detach adapter and system from Gemtech. Just to cover my ass, right? I'm a little store, but like Hong's got nothing else better to, or wait, no, he just sues Trump all day.
Yeah.
Well, wait.
No,
If he has a reason to sue mom and pops, he will. It's not like he's going to go, oh, they're little people. No, he doesn't care. You're
No,
in
it's
the
a
industry.
gun store, and let's see if we can get rid of it.
Correct. It's an industry.
That's his attitude. You know, that's the attitude.
The state will throw the full weight and power of the state if they want to, like they're doing to that Heather chick
Yeah.
Yes.
out of Plymouth. Now she's got a whole nother problems going on with more felonies coming down for intimidating witnesses and
Oh, yes.
a bunch of other stuff.
Have you done an update on this?
I did on
She's
the
not the best victim.
right. So on my last live Saturday, you'll see her in the thumbnail, and I give an update right at the end. We go over her charge. My lives are long. They're 1 hour.
Oh, that's long. I like short videos.
You have the attention span of a fucking tsetse fly.
Oh, you know what? Why don't you go to my t-shirt this and t-shirt that? Blah, blah, blah.
He's that age group. He's that age
Okay.
group.
My
If it says-
Patreon.
Swipe.
He needs to have
Swipe,
pictures. Just
You gotta
pictures.
give me like time codes in like your description afterwards, and then I'll click Heather.
I'll get on top of that.
You should.
Where are the time codes for this thing?
They're up there.
Yeah,
They're in the
Of
description.
course they are, because he does that.
AI does it for
Yeah,
me.
AI definitely does.
But
that.
still,
Since I manually mine.
I would never think about that kind
Oh.
of stuff. But because they're like short span, makes sense. And I can appreciate that he does that, because I wouldn't.
But anyways, so Heather's
She's in the
charges, she's a hot mess, right? And like I always tell people, I don't care about her personal life. I don't care about the extra charges she's now getting for violation of probation. Fuck around with a witness. It doesn't matter. I care about how does the state go after an individual for illegal possession of an assault weapon? Because when you read the law, it says your first offense is a Class A misdemeanor. That's what they arrested her on. That was her initial charge. And now it's a Class D felony. Well, her gun was incomplete and non-functional. But Plymouth PD decided to fix that for her. And now they made it really super illegal gun. So they could make it a felony because, you know, it is. That's from my understanding.
It's not what I heard, but okay.
So,
Yeah.
letter of the law. Whatever happens, what's the letter of the law say for an illegal possession of an assault weapon for your first offense?
Right. No, I agree with you.
It's a misdemeanor.
Yep.
Class A misdemeanor. Okay. How'd the state get to a felony? Why? Why jump it so hard? Because they want to ruin her and use her as a poster child of, we will ruin you because we can. And how many people do we see or talk to every week that have no idea HB Satan 7 ever passed? Or they just simply said, I'm not going to comply. What's
But
the state going to do?
Nobody's going to catch it. Nobody's going to ever see it.
What's
They're
the
not
state going to
know.
do? Okay, well, now's the perfect opportunity to see what does the state do. One,
Uh-huh.
we know they take that misdemeanor up to the felony, one way or another. Now let's see how bad they hammer her.
It'll be interesting to see once it starts going back and forth, if they're upgrading it, and not that I agree with any of this, but if they're upping it to a D, so that then they can really plead it down and she's still getting more than what she would get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they're playing the plea game, the back and forth game, that would be my guess, because that's the way this works. But it's BS. I mean, completely BS.
Again, that's all I really care about. I mean, granted, she is not an upstanding citizen by any means, from what I've seen, heard, and been told. I just want to know how the state's going to do this. What are they going to try to get out of it? How bad are they going to hammer her? Because I do remember the state arguing when we went to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals for an injunction, the original Grant v. Lamont. The state argued, well, there's no evidence that we'll actually enforce any of this. Prove that we will. And then shortly after,
And
we
then-
got the Plymouth mom.
Unfortunately, I think with her, and she, because of the situation she puts her, it's one of those mess around and find outs, and she's finding out now because she wasn't, from what I understand, she didn't understand what the laws were. She didn't know the difference. The other charges are different, But
The gun didn't work.
The original police report, which I read, said the gun is inoperable. It is incomplete.
that's interesting. Again, not what I had heard at all. So
Again,
that's interesting.
it's a round robin.
Yeah,
right.
no,
I mean,
yeah.
because I'm not gonna extract any information from the state of Connecticut or Plymouth PD. I'm only getting people that know basically her side. Which again,
But
I
if
really
it was inoperable,
You could FOIA the body cam footage when they picked it
I
up.
probably could. Here's the problem.
if it's inoperable, how does that become?
Here's what really upsets everybody. I freely admit, in the state of Connecticut, it's known the state of Connecticut and the lawyers watched my 2 videos. I think they even subscribed for the updates, which is great. Because I freely admit, this is the law.
Right.
It is black and white.
Right.
You need to do this thing by this day or else. I complied. Josh complied. I'm sure Derek complied. I'm sure you complied. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
Correct.
This is the law. Doesn't matter. Did she understand it? No. Maybe she didn't know.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
As a gun owner,
It is
you have to know.
It's your job to
Yes.
stay up to speed
I get
on
that.
our laws.
But it's also a crock of shit that the state doesn't even do anything like send out a
Right.
fucking letter.
No. But the other
Right? They have our addresses for our permits, right? And you're required by law to update that within 48 hours if you move.
Yes.
Some people don't. That's not what I'm talking about. But they could have all sent everyone a letter,
Email.
right? Email.
But do you know
phone
how?
numbers. I don't care. You changed the law. You made something a felony. I don't care how much.
No,
it
do you
takes for
know
them to
what
work.
say you send it to someone who doesn't pay attention and all of a sudden they get this and they can't read the legalese because they're not going to get the whole bill.
You must
gonna get
register
told-
your CT other by this date. That's it.
But that's one of the bigger reasons I do my channel. I'm sure you do your channel and you do
Well, that's the whole
yours.
reason we started our channel.
Yes.
Was to try and
Actually,
get
was
the
others.
word
Yes.
out. But here's
That
the
was
thing.
episode 1.
So the law says this thing. What's the actual spirit of the law? No, originally, I mean, the way they sell it to us, is it to punish the citizenry,
No, let's make
or
it
is it to
safer.
try and curb crime?
Yes, and make us safer.
Correct. Yet that's how it's sold, and then they use it as a hammer to crush the people. That's the point of the whole Heather debacle. Is the law wasn't sold to us to do exactly what the state is now doing. The state doesn't give a shit. Like I said, though, the law
But if
is
you
the
watch,
law.
I will say again, and 99% of gun owners are not going to know this, but if you had watched the floor debates, you would have known this was coming.
Oh, yeah.
They don't.
But that's what I'm saying. You know,
Right?
I
Like,
knew this.
There's only so much time that I can pay attention to something, right? There's only so many hours in a day. And the 4 of us here tend to focus on gun shit, right? We have channels that do this. We're in the business. So we focus on that. Do we focus on adult vaccine mandates
Homeschooling
or homeschooling?
No, I mean, I mentioned it
But
briefly.
I
there
watch
are
it,
groups
but I
of
don't
people
focus. Yes.
that focus on that.
Oh, that's their world.
So I get that, and that right. And so I get why people don't know all of these things, right? There's only so much you can give your attention span to. And obviously the un-American elected officials in Hartford, unconstitutional, maybe that's a better word. I don't know. All of it. Do this on purpose, right? That was Wednesday. What was the hearing day? So it was Wednesday, right?
What hearing?
The 5043.
Yeah, it was.
Whatever the day was, my brain's mush. You had 5043, you had the parts bill, which we're going to get into next. You had the adult vaccine mandates, and you had the homeschooling, all jammed in on one day on purpose.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
The
yeah.
amount of like homeschooling dads that were there were wearing like 9-line apparel, right? And like that kind of like industry shirt. And I'm like, I'm sure they would also be paying attention to this, but their focus is that. And that's fine. But you grouped kind of the same general thinking people into one day, made parking a fucking nightmare. I got there an hour and 45 minutes before the hearing because I knew parking was going to be a nightmare, but that's because I've been there before. And I didn't want to park blocks and blocks away.
But Josh, we talk about people don't know, people don't understand all this kind of stuff. But then you look back, Sandy Hook, that was 15 years ago ish.
12, yeah.
Okay.
12.
And they still don't know that they're supposed to not have standard capacity mags because, they bought it with the gun.
Now imagine, ready? here's what I think is a fix. Imagine we had a group of pro 2A people that would get the word out.
Wow, I wonder how that would happen.
I don't know what it would look like.
I don't know.
It'd be amazing if we had a group like that.
Or several independent ones and group ones.
Yeah.
It just, just places,
Now you're just talking crazy. Come on.
if you had these people that wanted to help educate, or that educate might be a strong word, help inform people of what's going on.
Again, though, I mean, literally, you know what? We all have channels. We all try to get the word out. And yeah, CCL tries to get the word out best they can, I guess. Whatever. The problem, though, is how many people out there just don't pay attention? They're living their lives.
9%.
Not paying attention to anything that's going on.
And then they go, what?
I do stupid polls in the class all the time. I'm like, who knew this law got passed? This law. And they're just looking at me. I'm like, do you guys even pay attention to local politics? We're like,
in a new pistol
No.
class, you'll never get that, because they, especially ones that are just coming in for their first permit, this is their first step to broadening their horizons to
Yeah.
exactly how screwed they are.
well, I always joke
Yeah.
at the beginning of class. I'm like, after we get through the law module, you're either A, not going to want to get a gun, B, throw up, or decide, yep, it's time to move.
Or D, all the above.
Right.
Or
And-
get involved and start paying attention, and holy shit, I need to focus. Some
Yeah.
people do. I've had some of my students.
Well, I tell them, I was like, you guys need to pay attention to this, because you'll go to bed tonight and you're fine. And then you wake up tomorrow and you possibly could catch a felony and not even know it, because the laws change all the time. Every year, all these new laws come out. And if you pay attention once in the beginning, you're like, oh, this law is getting okay. And then you say, oh, it got passed. What changed from the initial admission
Mhm.
in committee, like 7042? How many iterations did we end up? And then the final
And they were
thing,
all bad every step of the way.
yeah, it really sucked though if you had that gun group just say, you know what, we don't care, we're indifferent at this point.
Well,
Yeah.
there was one company, it was a holster company, Patriot Wear. They got the accessories part taken out of that.
Yeah,
Just saying.
yeah, that guy that owns it, awesome.
He is a good guy.
I see him in videos all the time showcasing
He
holsters.
is pretty cool.
All right. Speed 5435. Is that the number?
I have no idea what you just talked about. You mean 5436?
I was off by one number, Todd.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
54. I said
So,
5435. It's
I
5436.
looked up. I wanted to see what was going on with it. That's the one that redefines what a firearm is.
Yes, it
includes
makes a barrel. Yep, and cylinder.
Never,
Everything.
it hasn't moved out of committee. So I don't know if it's DOA or if they will take the language from that, don't shake your head, and stuff it into the Glock bill.
It is a possibility, but I
mean,
don't. It's
Just
from what I'm hearing
right in.
after testimony that was done, and on several people.
CAGV, he didn't know what he was talking
Oh, well,
about.
he's the one that said that you had 5. If you have individual parts, you have 5 firearms, and then you go to 1. And that's another one when we were watching, and Doug was like, so if you make it into 1, what happens to the 5?
Well,
They can't answer.
What annoyed me the most is that he cut the line. Okay. The Earl blood, what? Never say his name. Earl asshole. Cut the line and went with Giffords.
Yes.
Like, dude, you were 15 people away.
Yes.
You're supposed to be after me and before
No.
Strasser, and you cut the line. And I'm like,
No, they're special.
no, that's bullshit.
Oh, they're very
But
special.
they are special.
Bullshit.
In
Very
our
special.
legislature,
I
especially
learned in
judiciary,
kindergarten that you follow the line leader and like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like not like, 15 is now 3. Blood?
special.
New math. Got it. Common Core math.
No, it's Safstrom's math.
Oh, got it.
Also, CAGB gets money from the state of Connecticut
Yeah.
to lobby because it's part of our general budget since USAID got cut.
And then they give the money to the legislators that
Yeah. Fun,
Yeah,
goes
because
right
it
back
comes
to
back
them.
fundraising.
in.
Funnels them- yeah. Big time.
Well,
anyways, Earl did a really bad job. Good job. Appreciate it. Actually, he did a really good job for our side. Really
well, from what
bad
I
job.
understand, they after testimony, they said after listening to everybody and hearing all of this, there is absolutely no way Number one, there's no federal way to do what they want
So
done.
Josh got this killed then.
Yeah, we'll give that to you.
We give yours to you, to Matt. But I mentioned it with the SLFU, right? And I kind of went off on a sidetrack with Dubinsky, which was not intentional.
Well, and there were a few of them, but yes, your post put it all up there. But even the Dems went, oh, we didn't think this one through. Not to say something won't come later. Well, they'll try to figure out how to make it work. But
why didn't that work with the other bill? With the
because Glock bad.
Yeah.
No, the difference is because Glock is what they're talking about is a full firearm. There is no way for FFLs to do what the state was going to require
banning
us
a firearm. They're banning
the sale.
Anything with a cruciform trigger bar.
Well, the sale.
It's the future sale. Right, we're banning a future.
Prohibiting.
Sorry, what was it?
Prohibiting the future sales.
Yes.
Yep.
It's not a ban. We're prohibiting future sales.
But
or transfers.
Yes,
if we have to start calling all those guns in Connecticut, all of them a firearm, all those pieces, let's just put it this way. SLFU, who's got all the funding in the world to make awesome programs, would have to make a Connecticut program to do such because by federal law you cannot do such.
Well, they also
it goes back to our original point of running background checks.
It's correct. So none of that's going to happen
because they wanted to make Glocks a machine gun. That's what they wanted to define it as.
Yes.
So how the hell could I lawfully own a machine gun with the Hughes Act, which cut me off in 1986 when my shit was manufactured in the 21st century? Connecticut's all of a sudden like it's a machine gun, right? With that mentality.
They have all cool definitions. Contradict
How
everything.
the hell do I comply with the state? Because if the state's like, well, it's a machine gun, great. Now I got to tell the ATF it's a machine gun. But according to the Hughes Act, I can't have it. What are we supposed to do?
And the ATF is going to go, what?
Exactly. And again, I'm pretty sure it is precedent. Heller, Brew, and etc. You can't ban guns in common use. Like Derek and I were talking about. Out of all the guns that exist, all of them, and ARs are America's rifle. Out of all the guns, I'm pretty sure.
Is that what AR stands for?
Yes, America's rifle.
Uh-oh.
That's right.
Don't start.
Put that on a shirt.
Absolutely.
Because I know, and not ARs.
No, absolutely. It is.
Plenty of people like that.
It is my guess, knowing the numbers that I know from past. I haven't done recent odds, okay? Recent searches on this, but Glock is the number one sold firearm.
Glock 19 is the most popular handgun in America.
Absolutely.
Probably in the world. I have people calling every day for Gen 6s. Like there's not an enough Gen 6s I can get. That
hopefully they're changing it so we can sell them later.
So yes, this will probably die in court
this
at
year.
Some point.
Oh,
we're going to say that if they push it,
yes,
immediate lawsuits are going to come through. But now we got to work our way through the court system.
But are they? Who's going to fund that? Who's going to do that?
Crickets. I need to put crickets in.
Yeah.
I would like GOA to get involved with some organization to do such. SAF would work with some organization or group of people.
I know who would. The NRA.
ILA. NRA.
ILA is legislative. The NRA would do the lawsuits. It's so totally separate.
Because we just got to bring Wayne LaPierre back. He's got our back.
He's got our pocket.
Well, he's reaching in the back to get the wallet, to get the money, to go buy a nice suit.
Yeah. He's living nicely somewhere quietly. He doesn't want any more of that.
Look,
he deserves.
I've shit on the NRA enough on my videos, but I mean, I'm sure there'll be a lawsuit just because.
But you have to find a plaintiff here.
Because
Eddie Grant.
Wait,
what?
I think he's busy.
With what? His thing just keeps getting pushed off.
Mm-hmm. It's like
Kick
what?
the can down the road.
Yeah, but he's got his lawsuit. We need a new plaintiff, a good one. What? I don't own a Glock.
That's right. She's too good for Glock.
I mean,
she's a sig snob.
I was gonna say High Point, but okay, sure. You know, Michelle will be rocking that yeet cannon.
I mean, she does work in Waterbury.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I needed a brick.
That's the thumbnail.
Somehow you always mess with something I've said. You're like, that's it. Apparently, I put my foot in my mouth a lot. Hi, guys.
I'm sure we could find somebody.
Yeah.
There's plenty.
I would love to.
Glocks out there.
On the liability, I tried to get me and Josh have GOA help us. We would raise money. We would do all this. Great. Like, I am trying.
I really need a cricket button over here.
Yeah, I mean, the liability thing is, I think it's too small because it's a state specific thing versus
It violates federal law.
right. But
It's cancer.
But you
It
got California,
spreads.
New York, Illinois, Connecticut, all these states trying to ban the commonly used gun, which it's like a no-brainer. It's an easy win. And there's plenty of people out there.
He says easy win.
It just take years
Well,
to get
I mean,
it there.
I-
you know.
It should.
No.
But it's
What I'm
not
saying is,
easy.
you're not going to win in Connecticut, any of our courts, or the Second Circuit Court, and any other courts that are anti-2A. But it's like a no-brainer that eventually, when it gets high enough, they'll be like, we've already settled this. You can't ban guns in common use. But it's just common sense, which isn't very common apparently. There's so many Glock owners out there. I'm sure it's easy. Versus when it came to the liability, show me someone that's been hurt by the new liability law for 7042. Nobody as of yet that I
No.
know of.
Yet.
I'm waiting.
Well, that's the key word.
the
yet.
first, that's who's going to be your plaintiff.
Exactly.
It's a matter. I really thought
Someone's
it would
gotta
come
get
right out.
hemmed
But
up
yeah,
first.
somebody's going to get,
So
jammed.
audience, get out there, buy your guns over at Lock and Load.
Well, no, then it would mean Lock and Load have to do something wrong.
No,
Yeah.
when-
Yeah, and we don't do that. We got 100% in our ATF audit.
you've got a Nick with 9 knuckles. That's his street name.
9 knuckles.
Yeah.
You guys won't understand. That's okay. Well, maybe some of you will.
Derek, help.
It's
Talk
a-
about cost communications again.
Listen,
Well,
it's
wait.
okay.
What? There's more. Canada. Wait, there's.
Oh,
more.
yeah, we forgot
Let's
about
talk
Canada.
Yay!
Oh,
Hey, Canada.
Hey,
Todd.
let's talk about the frostbacks.
What?
The frostbacks.
I have some friends up there, by the way.
So do I.
So do
Yeah,
I.
that you met on
And
a
I
cruise?
I
I
talk
bet some, but-
mad. Trust me, I talk mad shit when they pass these gun laws. So, NSSF put out an article today, which we were kind of looking through real quick, and it's to all the anti-gunners here in Connecticut that are anti-gunners in general in our country that always come up with, we're just passing common sense gun reform or gun laws, and it's not like anybody's going to come get your guns. That's not what we're saying. Well, fast forward to the Canucks, who can't win a fucking hockey game against America because they suck. Go America. They do a mandatory gun buyback that nobody participated in. I think you threw out what,
2.5%.
2.5%. So
2.5,
Canada,
that's it. That's all they got.
Canada goes, well, that didn't work. We're just going to send the cops to your door, eh?
Knock, knock.
Can we get your guns, eh? They'll have some Tim Hortons for you.
I want to know how that works.
Little Timbits?
I just want to sit and like watch.
Were they going after a specific type or?
Yeah, they had like what 1,500 guns,
Yeah.
models that
Models.
they banned on the last.
I mean, it's just like,
last run around.
basically it bans like everything modern. It's an insane ban. It's like, does
So
it
you can
shoot
have
a
a pul-
bullet?
well, it
That's
was
banned.
their laws were already more strict as far as what you could have to begin
Right, and they don't
with,
have a
and
second
how.
Just guys, just remember, Justin Trudeau said that guns were ingrained in their society and there would never be a ban on guns in Canada.
I don't,
Fast forward 9 years later, he bans all handgun transfers in Canada.
by decree. Listen,
Like,
I don't
Piece
listen
of shit.
to Castro Jr. Fuck him. Look at, you ever see him and Papa Fidel next to each other?
No.
Those comparisons.
But you
I
can
might
look
go
at
Google that
you
after.
can-
Google that. You're like, and his mother, known fact, his mom was very, very close with Fidel during that whole time period. About 9 months prior to his birth.
It's not the mailman, it's a Cuban dictator.
it's weird that you
Well,
know
he is
that.
the dictator at that point.
I feel like Todd needs to make a thumbnail with Justin Trudeau in the shape of like a potato.
That's right, penis spud.
There's so much editing.
He has so much love for Canada. But but we can say that about a lot of countries that have started off with all of this. And we're like one of the last holdouts,
Right.
even though it's moving
But-
in
but
that
it's
direction.
It's codified in our Bill of Rights because even Australia, which around the same time they did a gun buyback, which was mandatory, and it was around 80 to 85,000 people complied,
Good for them.
and they turned in their guns. And the anti-gun group in Australia said, "That's not enough. We're going to do this again." And they spent millions upon millions of dollars to compensate these Aussies for their guns. And
Did you hear about the Australian that was just like arrested for having a secret gun room.
Yeah.
And there was a button in his safe, and they pushed the button, and then there was a Barrett 50 cal there. I had so many questions. First of all, the guy who narked on him, horrible person. Secondly,
you know why he has that, right?
how did he get a Barrett 50 cal into the country? It's not like it's tiny.
Well,
No, I just think
it is a
that's freaking
colony
cool.
of criminals.
It is.
There's a will, there's a way. And if you've ever seen a wet koala, you'd want a 50 cal too.
Well, and not for nothing. That's what goes.
Google it.
That goes
thank
along
you.
with the whole do not comply. I don't have to do that. It's my rights. And then you get jammed up.
Hand.
But they don't have the rights.
They don't have that right.
I know.
We
But
have it.
When we do it here, that's what I'm saying. We let it get to those points, and everybody goes, well, I'm just not going to comply. Eventually, it's going to blow up on you because you've got to fight. There is a point where you may not comply. Don't get me wrong. Nobody understands that. I think we just, bend over. No, but you've got to play a certain game and do certain things before we get to that point. Because when we get to that point, it's not good. At that point, there's going to be a lot of innocence and a lot of stuff that's going to go down that should not go down, that people wish for, that they don't really know what they're wishing for.
And you got to look at how many people are actually willing to let their life be ruined based on their principle. Like, well, I have a right to do that. Congratulations, I agree.
But they have to go to work, so they can't fight.
Yeah.
It's like, where were you?
Mortgages do.
Where were you to write testimony? Overtime. Sorry, couldn't do it.
Right. That 2 seconds it would have taken me. I just didn't have time. I was on Facebook.
I was slightly impressed with people that came to the Capitol on that day that on 7042 couldn't be bothered to write a sentence.
Every year you're going to get a shift.
But I'm just talking about a few specific people. And I was like, oh, well, hey, at least you showed up for this one.
Well, this one
Good job.
It was for their Glock.
Not for the stores that they buy them at.
Well, no, because they don't care. The store's not really going to get sued. And if it does, well, then there's other stores.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But the situation that's happening in Canada, where they're talking about using RCMP to go door to door. This is what they're claiming. You have to realize what's happening in Rhode Island. Rhode Island,
they just got rid of it.
They're putting out a new assault weapons ban bill where there's no grandfather clause.
It's not a new bill, sir. They added a word. That word is now possession.
Yes.
The law stayed the same. They add the word possession.
So now,
it's like this, just change a convertible pistol.
So last year they banned guns, and they said, listen, we're not going to come for your guns. If you have it, you can keep it, blah, blah, blah. And everyone in Rhode Island's like, whatever, give it to me, daddy. So they passed a law, boom, no going forward. This year they said, you know what? We're going to add the word possession, and they'll have till December
of
to
this year.
turn their guns in. They said, listen, all you got to do is if you want to keep it, just register it with us.
It didn't have the registration.
No, that's right.
They did away
Originally
with
they
it.
said to, and then
it
went away. It was us that made the registration happen. But
they did the same shit with mags a couple of years ago too, and they went from normal to 10 rounds.
Yeah.
They made felons overnight because there was no grandfather clause.
But here's my question. So you now have to get rid of them because you can no longer
they'd have
possess
to leave
them.
the state by the end of December if it does get codified into law.
And what are they going to do to enforce that?
Canadians.
But are they truly going to knock on doors, or are they
It's
just
a tiny
talking?
ass state. They can do it.
We know, as of so far, Connecticut says the same thing. And they send you a letter. If you have something you should not have because you tried to register as an assault weapon when it was illegal 15 years ago, they send you a letter and they say you need to either drop it off at the police department to get destroyed. You need to prove to us that you've destroyed it, or you need to get it out of the state. And the question the supervisor up there gets all the time is not from anybody who's getting the letter, but from just people like me. How do you know what they did? Like, do you follow up with them? And they go, oh, no, and we're not going door to door.
What you do is you take a picture, you take your other or your AR, okay? You cut with a sawzall down between the upper and the lower and separate those two halves. Take a photo because you cut it in half. And then you send it to them. Wouldn't that work?
You know what? I think if you have the full rifle here and the stocks over here and the barrels over here, if you just cut it like that, it's totally fine.
Yes.
Because then the barrel won't work.
That's right.
There's people that have done this, right? I was using the SBR as the example here.
No, it's just that's why the question came up. I mean, Canada is actually following through.
But the only thing is with Rhode Island, Rhode Island's a test case.
Yeah, oh yeah.
If they put this thing through, all these states that have assault weapons bans are watching this carefully. Remember, all the AGs are all
How does it work?
circle jerk.
As soon as it goes through,
You know, they're all in cahoots with each
What's
other.
the resistance level?
Yeah.
I think you and I were talking about it last time. Is as soon as Rhode Island passes it, it goes in. Maybe some court cases might happen. We'll see if it sticks or not. But then, shortly after that, that's precedent. Connecticut, Mass, New York, Jersey, California, Washington,
Maryland,
Illinois,
Virginia,
New Mexico. All these states will go buck wild and be like, "Oh no, we changed the law. Turn them in."
So people on the last note here, people keep bringing up Virginia, and they're like, "Oh man, you see what's happening down there?" And I'm like, "Yep." Like, don't you feel bad for them? I'm like, "Nope."
They had heads up.
They fucking knew what was happening.
They were up here when we were losing.
VCDL, CCDL, they fucking know what's happening, and they didn't do jack shit. And sorry, you fucked up.
Well, and it's not,
Like-
yes, and it's not a VCDL didn't do their job. Again, it's the residents. It's the residents of
Sucks for them.
No,
state.
it's not. You got to look at the way the state is set up, though.
It's huge. And it's one part.
You go to northeastern Virginia, that's where all your votes are coming from, and that is Smurf blue. And then when you head out toward the west side of Virginia,
You mean like this state called West Virginia?
no, because there's a difference between West Virginia and Country Roads Take Me Home, West Virginia, which is
Yes.
Western Virginia, rural, good old boys.
But not even in the middle.
Maybe
You're still
West
in good.
Virginia should invade.
The problem is, like he said, it's the northeastern part that's like
Yeah,
your DC.
it's Alexandria
Yeah.
and all this. It's the problem. It's all your beltway idiots. That
It's
live
their
in Virginia.
Fairfield County,
As I said
but better.
Yeah.
in the beginning of this, welcome to the fucking party, pal.
Yeah.
Like, we've been here.
Well,
You're here now.
I
Yeah.
forget. I shared the Franco meme of first time, and it was like that's Connecticut. Look at that Virginia.
But see,
first time, huh?
Here's the deal. It's not even the first time for Virginia because Virginia had that big rally
Yeah, where
What
dude
was
was
that?
walking around with the Barrett.
2020 or
That's great.
something like that. So I was there. And I was there because the governor wanted to ban ARs.
Were you there
And-
on January 6th too?
No,
Oh, that's a good answer.
almost.
January 7th.
I had every intention of going. I just didn't get down there. But
Good. I think that's it.
it kind of worked out.
Yeah.
But I was down there back then. That was right after COVID, right before COVID.
Before, I
don't
think it was
know.
before.
Right before. Yeah,
I think it was
like-
BC.
Yes. Like right before though. It was because it was cold. It was still like February,
Yeah.
January, February.
So would that make CA COVID aftermath?
We're in 26.
CE current era they use. Whatever that'd be.
And he still passed laws though to ban. He didn't go full on ban, but they banned a whole bunch of stuff that year, even though they had 50,000 people in Richmond. So this isn't new.
In
Like-
a peaceful protest.
It was, and we cleaned up too. It was left so really, really nice, but that's a whole nother topic. But now here we are, and Virginia's like gone. Look at us go. We got this, and people are going, imagine that.
Yeah, elections
like-
have consequences.
Follow the time frame.
What I like though is that what's her name?
Spanberger.
I was gonna say Spermberger. I couldn't remember.
All right, what was the name?
Spanberger.
No, the
Okay.
real name.
No,
Oh, Spanberger. Okay.
Span-
Yeah, that's her name.
Spanberger.
It's Span.
Span.
Spanberger.
She ran as a moderate
Mm-hmm.
and said all these things, and as soon as she was in, she's like, "Gotcha, bitch."
Yeah.
And that's it.
But she,
And they're running roughshod over everybody.
Welcome to
She-
campaigns.
before-
Isn't it great?
before she ran for governor, right after the election, 2024, she put out a memo. They've got this out there saying she's sitting there saying, we can't run as far leftist anymore. She literally said this. We have to pose ourselves as moderates, as we're not going to win any elections. She played her own game. Okay. She knew the game. She knew exactly what she had to do. And she did it. And she flipped the script. As soon as she
Hey.
And
put her
people
hand
don't
up
pay
and dropped
attention.
it, she just,
Listen, all I know is
They
you
don't
get
pay
what you vote
attention.
for. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You get what you vote for, and everything that happens to you, you got what you wanted. That's why I rooted for Ma'am Donnie in New York. I was like, I hope he wins. And I hope New York City gets everything they want. How's that going for them?
I want my house values to start going up faster because they all need to leave. So that way, if my value goes up, I get to leave.
Cash out, huh?
Yeah.
Well, because
Boom.
they think Connecticut is like awesome compared to New York.
Well,
So they're moving out of, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
Those are
like,
New York
you
just-
have this awesome because I'm done
Yeah.
with it.
Michelle,
New York,
just-
you can stay the fuck over there and leave me alone.
Yeah.
You can buy my house.
We're the Dingleberry. You don't want to be part of it. Just
Nope.
remember, when it's time for you to leave and dip out,
Mhm.
Tennessee's full. We shut the door. But I heard Omaha, Nebraska is nice this time of year.
Nope, I already have someplace else. I'm not going to Tennessee either.
I-
Arizona.
Arizona.
Up by that, up north. So I'm right in the corner of Vegas. Like I'll be an hour and a half from Vegas, 45 minutes from Grand Canyon, 3 hours from Phoenix.
So you want to be the Tulsa Queen?
I keep thinking Florida. Florida would be nice.
No.
I like
Oh.
cruises though, and I like warm.
No.
And like
it-
I can deal with some rain and wind.
No, listen.
my
Josh just
in-laws
wants to be
moved down
Florida
that way. You
man.
know how it is.
That's what you want to be.
I refuse to even go to Florida in the summertime. Like anytime in the summer. I will go to Arizona in 120 degrees before I go to Florida. Florida is hot, drippy. Like,
It's
Like Connecticut?
no, well, worse.
worse, yeah.
But you get out of the shower.
Slightly.
You get out of the shower.
Then-
Why bother? Get back in.
But then I can go to this thing called a beach. In like Connecticut,
trip.
I look outside right now and it's gray and gloomy.
Oh, I'm all for that. I get
Like-
the concept of warmer and wanting better
Yeah.
temperatures. Absolutely. There's other
And
places.
cruise ports,
There's cruise ports in a lot of places.
not Arizona.
I could see you in
No.
Michigan.
Just saying.
I could see you in Alaska.
I would love to go to Alaska. My husband
Uh-uh.
is a lizard, though, and needs a.
No,
Big
I
heat
could
rack.
see you in an igloo out there clubbing baby harp seals.
I think he's being mean.
Clubbing baby.
Why are you being mean to me? What did I do?
Todd has had too much caffeine, and on that note,
And
I think we're gonna wrap
Wait
this
a
up.
minute. I'm not
no.
clubbing anything because I carry a gun and it's easier.
You heard it here first. Michelle's gonna shoot baby seals.
She admitted it. It's on the internet. It's
It
forever, and
said
it must
if.
be true.
It was an if.
Gonna be a PETA protest outside your store.
Awesome. Thanks.
Next thing you know, Lock and Load podcast.
Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with PETA. When I lived in Virginia, every year we had the PETA fishing tournament because PETA's in Norfolk. It's on the water, and we had a fishing tournament right in front of PETA. It's very popular. Everybody showed up. It was cool.
Wow.
It was done by a local radio station. The PETA fishing tournament.
You
Every
get to
year.
hear every kind of thing on this podcast. Damn. If I was
If you've made it this far and you're not subscribed already, what are you doing?
why wouldn't you? I would if I wasn't here.
So, subscribe, like, I'm sure these guys will have some links to like a Patreon or something where you can see Derek drinking more coconut water and Todd and his t-shirts of so many t-shirts. over there.
SLFU.
Shows a lot of love for SLFU.
It
Yeah.
does. It does. So my name's Josh from Lock and Load Firearms and Lock and Load Podcast.
I'm Michelle with Patriot Wear Holsters.
I'm Derek, Connecticut Gun Bench.
I'm Todd, the gun guru, found everywhere, YouTube and all social medias.
That was it.
You know,
That's
I
okay.
say
Buy a
next,
shirt, damn it. Help
next
the channel out.
podcast, we got to have those foam paddles. So when he does that, we all just get over there and just start
Beat
beating
him.
him. On
And
the
that's how. And then like his camera falls over and it ends.
So he thinks he's better than
Action
us.
shot.
I
I'm
know
the gun
Nerf
guru.
guns. Nerf guns.
Just
Oh my God. Yes. Boof.
Pretty sure that's a violation
Oh.
of terms of service.
No, I don't think so. I
not
didn't
if the
write
camera
those.
doesn't see it.
They don't threaten me with a good time.
It's all right. My Nerf gun's gonna have a tack on it. No, which one sticks?
It's not.
It's
Well-
right to his knee.
Got to make sure it's
Keep
got
it
that
up.
vertical foregrip just in case
Yeah.
the state sees it.
I'll go over there and give Nick a bread at 92.
It was an M9A3 actually.
Regardless. He's got 9 more knuckles to go.
Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Bye.